It seems that communicating Europe's message to its citizens has never been harder. Some even argue that Europe has to redefine its sense of purpose. This is why more than 700 communication professionals from all over Europe gathered in Brussels for the second edition of EuroPCom. This two-day conference tried to analyze and reshape the way in which Europe reaches its 500 million citizens. Attempting to provide information when it has not been asked for can prove a useless exercise. Therefore, Europe has to constantly adapt to its surroundings and, very importantly, listen to its different voices.
Le traité de Lisbonne, vous savez, introduit une nouvelle architecture politique de l'Union avec une nouvelle répartition des compétences, donc des responsabilités et l'apparition de nouveaux acteurs. Et nous devons à notre tour continuer à bâtir une nouvelle architecture pour la communication sur l'Europe, grâce à une approche multiniveau mettant en réseau les institutions européennes, les États membres, les régions et les villes.
Constructive criticism, theoretical considerations, concrete cases and networking were all high on the agenda. How to brand a city, a region or even the EU, for example, was one of the themes. Some dare to question if a brand as such can be manufactured. Others believe it can only come as a natural extension of constantly doing things right.
To me, Europe is definitely a brand. The perception of this brand is still positive inside the EU, but even more outside of the EU.
Nonetheless, a long-term vision is indispensable.
Let us not forget that Europe and the European Union is a long-term project, and what we see, what we listen to, is short-termism. And I think that Europe has certainly more than 50 years to live in the future.
No level of administration can disregard the impact of social media. Adapting the message to the medium has never been this important.
For example, if you do have the right search tools, if you track very clearly exactly who's talking about what, you can enter into all of those small conversations. If it's 50, 100 people and they care about one particular type of recycling policy or one aspect of workers' rights, and you can reach those individuals in a way you never could before.
As Mr. Kempinen points out, customizing Europe's message to its 500 million citizens might be one of the biggest challenges Europe's communication officers are facing today.
Who from Brussels can honestly say they are effectively communicating in 27 countries, in 23 languages to 500 million people? When was the last time you saw a communication campaign that effectively, in a proven manner, reached out to all of them?
Many conclusions can be drawn from the EuroPCom workshops 2011. Europe's communication professionals will go home with general insights and concrete guidelines on how to improve their communication strategy. But as Mr. Anholt explained, there is no perfect strategy without that little bit of magic.
It needs to do policy that is responsible, as it is today, carefully planned, as it is today, based on some kind of reasonable consensus, as it is today, but with the added ingredient that what it does is simply extraordinary and captures the imagination of ordinary people in Europe and around the world, so that they go to bed at night saying, I'm glad that Europe exists.